You know what I love about you, JC? Welcome to the Fitish podcast.
Wow, we started strong. I like this. Go ahead.
I mean, I love a lot of things about you, but I love, and it's something that, you know how sometimes you don't realize what you miss about someone until they're gone? Like, I used to see you every day, so then there were days that you would annoy me, but now that I only see you once a week if I'm lucky, I miss having a man that I can talk to about other hot men. And I just realized when you came into the office today, you pulled up a chair and sat with the girls in the Fitish office and you just talked at length with us about our affinity for Harry Styles.
Yes.
Because Harry Styles has made me realize, like, I can't look at videos of Harry Styles because I will not be happy with my current partner, Francisco. Like, I realize that, like, my life is just, like, never going to be quite what I want it to be. But when if I don't get to end up with Harry Styles, as I think most women feel.
Listen, straight men listening to this, because I know all the girls watched Harry Styles at the Grammys, and I know the caution wet floor sign needed to be busted out, okay? There is something about Harry Styles that just... I don't know what it is about this dude. I am a straight man. I love vagina. But that dude is sexy, man. I'm not ashamed to admit that he takes my 100% straightness down to about 80-20.
I can't even watch TikTok right now because it's just all the videos of his performance in a black blazer, a black leather blazer with no shirt underneath. And I just can't even handle it.
It's not even a sexual attraction, Jenna. It's not like, I don't want to
It is for me.
It is for you. It's not like that, but it's just, there's something, you just look at him like, damn, that's a good ass looking dude.
That's a good point. It's not that I'm like just like super aroused when I watch him. It just like my whole life flashes before my eyes. Like, I just hate that I'll never be with him in person. That's what it is for me. It's like a grander scale. And I love Francisco. I hope he knows that, like, that's just how most of us women feel about him.
I know. And there's always the hall pass when we were talking about this at the girl table, because I was sitting in for Danny, who's breaking.
Yeah, she's on Sprake.
Sprake?
Yeah. With her high school sister as a chaperone, yeah.
Danny, bless your heart, because that's tough. 16-year-old girls on the loose at the beach is the worst. But I don't know how to describe it. Here's the thing, Jenna. We talk about hall passes, right? Mm-hmm. And we're talking about this.
Yeah.
And everybody's cool with granting the hall pass. Like, mine is Carrie Underwood. And I feel like my wife is super safe with that because, A, she's married to Mike Fisher, who is, that dude's a sexy ass dude as well, right? And she knows that's never going to happen. But God forbid that chance to hook up with your celebrity hall pass happens, your significant other is not going to be cool with it. There's going to be no chance. No chance in hell. They're going to be like, baby, go ahead. Go get it with Harry Styles.
Francisco, when we started dating, we talked about hall passes. And, he is a Latin lover in every sense of the word. Like, I would like to consider him somewhat like possessive over his, he's not okay with hall passes. And he made a really good point. He's like, why would I be okay with a hall pass when you actually meet some of the people that you might have a hall pass with? I think in general, most people recognize, and men and women laugh about it because they know, like, their husband or wife is like never going to encounter, said person in their life and have an opportunity. But on the chance that it does happen, and our percentages were way up because of who we were interviewing. Now, I mean, I was telling you my now biggest regret, like, I don't think I have any regrets in life. And like, that is now my biggest regret because Harry Styles was not a hall pass of mine at the time. No. Like, he was not someone he was a little young for me. Like, I don't gravitate towards the young. If anything, I like the older.
But you were in his wheelhouse because he likes himself a slightly older woman.
Yes. And I will say the opportunity presented itself and I turned the opportunity down, and I am just filled with regret.
I feel like, no. You're not going to just skate by this story right now, because I don't think we've ever talked about this story. Since you brought it up, I'm going to go ahead and tell you exactly what happened. So we're at one of our concerts, and we're hanging out there, and it's me and Kinsey and Jenna and some guy that will remain nameless and a couple other people from work. And One Direction was playing our show, and all of a sudden the boys from One Direction passed by. Did Niall and I fist bump? Of course we did. Did Louis and I high five? Hell yeah. Because
we had interviewed them the year before, so we had met them.
Yeah, we had a good relationship.
So we had
met
them once or twice over a couple of year period.
And their management from the record label were like really good friends with them. So we had a really good relationship with the guys. But here comes Harry Styles, last in line, right, with his bodyguard. And he walks by, and he like, hey, what's up, guys? And then he locks with Jenna. He locks eyes. And I remember feeling his gravitational pull grab Jenna. She didn't even get grabbed yet, but she was already moving. Like, oh, he's about to touch me.
No, he goes, hey, can I talk to you over here for a second?
My man pulled this woman's away from a dude.
Yeah, I was with someone at the time. Yeah.
His bodyguard then positions himself in between us, our little group that was sitting right there, and Jenna and Harry. And then I hear a lot of British accent going on. I couldn't really tell what was happening. Like, oh, mate, yes, beautiful.
Because he almost touches his nose to you when he talks. So this is the thing. A lot of women used to not get it. They were like, this guy's young, One Direction, on and on and on. But the reality of the encounter with the Harry Styles is he exudes so much confidence and attraction and sexuality. He's so engaged that he locks eyes with you and he talks to you. It's a European thing too, but he's a close talker. So he talks to you, it's such a confident thing to be able to talk to someone that closely and make eye contact with them. And then of course I want to feign more confidence than I have, so I don't break eye contact. And so he was just like, he grabbed my hand and he was nice. He actually talked to me about Kid. He was just like, how are you? I was like, I'm doing good. And kind of laughed. And he's like, how have you been? I was like, I'm okay. Like he just started this whole really engaged, nice conversation. Actually, it seemed like he really cared how I was doing, how we were doing, how I felt. He was like, well, like, do you need anything? Like, I feel like there was this ample opportunity for me to be like,
yes, because that's
just you.
That is a conversation that he could have had with all of us because we all lost Kid. But no, my man pulled Jenna aside. And when dude that was there at the time finally went away, I was like, Jenna, was Harry moving in?
Yeah.
And Jenna said, mm-hmm. I said, well, do you need me to take care of this guy over here? And she goes, nope, I'm a good woman.
Ugh. If I had known then what I know now about those people in my life.
Yes.
And, and just.
You mean what everybody told you, basically?
Yeah. Yeah. What everyone told me that now I've learned and, in a more expensive way.
Harry and I could have been best friends, Jenna. You guys could have been come over to my new house this week and swimming. Me and Harry in our Speedos, because I know that's what Harry probably wears.
Oh, man. I know. I just, it's hard. I don't even want to revisit it. So there. Those, actually, my two life regrets are summed up into that one story. Yeah. That I made that decision all the way across the board, that I made the decision that I made. So.
My life regrets that you didn't.
Whatever. It would have been like a one night thing anyway, but it still would have been a great story for later in life, right? To tell the kids, almost like, if my mom had like hooked up with Mick Jagger and then my mom's like, Jenna, I dated Mick Jagger. Like that would have been a great story to tell me later in life. And I feel like it would have been akin to that.
You know what's weird is that I've met so many of my friends' grandmothers that have kissed Elvis.
Really?
Yeah, like more than one.
Or do you think women just say that? Did he really kiss everyone?
Yeah, like they got
fat Elvis or Elvis like before.
One of them was like legit Elvis. One of them was later in life Elvis. But yeah, like it's been I think like 3 or 4 grandmothers that I met of friends of mine that had all different stories with Elvis.
But I bet Elvis was a lot like our Harry Styles, because I don't look at Elvis that way. But when you look back at old videos of him moving his hips that way, dancing that way, which was so forbidden, kind of like the Beatles thing too. I'm sure, my mom wasn't allowed to go to a Beatles concert, and my mom said she was a teenage girl and she would just listen to Beatles records, and her mom wouldn't let her go, wouldn't let her go. And she's like, it's her biggest life regret that she never got to go see the Beatles. And then she was going to go get to meet Paul McCartney in New York, and the concert was September 13th, 2001. And so it was right before she had a chance to go meet Paul McCartney. So she spent her whole life wanting to, meet the Beatles. But anyway, I'm sure that's how it was for women back then with rock stars like that were kind of like androgynous seeming, and you don't know what that's their sexuality is. Yeah, right. GC, by the way.
Yeah. What?
I did something yesterday.
You did something like life-changing?
Possibly.
Possibly life-changing?
You inspired me.
I inspired you?
Francisco's in Mexico right now.
You called Harry Styles?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're not going to believe what I did.
What?
It's really not as cool as calling Harry Styles, but Francisco is not okay with this because of what I did, and he's out of town.
Oh, yes. What'd you do? Does he know yet?
I put an offer on a house.
Jenna, what the hell are you doing?
It's a fast market.
It is a fast market, but it's scary as shit.
It is scary. So
you put an offer in? Did you write a letter?
I found a house on Zillow, but it's so fucked up how the market is these days, because I I saw the house on Zillow. It had been on Zillow for a few hours. Francisco, my partner, has his real estate license. Fiance. No, I say partner.
Fiance.
I hate that word.
Be fancy, please.
I don't like that word.
We're the Fitish podcast.
It's like
fiance just flows better.
I'm not going to say it. He's mine. He's my lover. I don't have to say fiance.
I'm correct you the whole time.
I even forgot to put on any of my rings today. Like, this is the world I live in. I'm ridiculous. It's crazy. So anyway, so I saw this house on Zillow, and I also have a friend that's a realtor that I know will show me the house, right?
Yeah.
Still let Francisco do the deal. And so,
how do y'all know the code to that little box? Like, is that a realtor thing? It's like the same code for all the realtors?
No, they have to have a special key that gives them digital access, right? So they have like an actual thing that reads the
I want to be in that
code.
club.
Well, the people still live in this house. So they actually, anyway, I went to look at the house, and we find out from the realtor that the house had been on the coming soon MLS. So it had already, before I had seen it, people that were on the inside of the MLS, which that's what's so annoying is like, how do I get access to the inside? Like, I have to have a realtor set me up so I can see the MLS before stuff hits the market. So it had been on coming soon for 48 hours. It got 4 offers. No one has seen the house yet in person out of the 4 offers.
See, that's the thing.
A couple's on their honeymoon and they accepted the offer. They're getting it inspected tomorrow. They haven't even seen the house yet. I was the first and only person so far to actually see the house. So I submitted to be the backup offer. So I probably am not going to get the house. But how fucked up is that?
The worst, because it feels like people just get access to stuff that it's like, it's not the same as a house, but
they're out of town.
It sucks.
You know what I mean? Like, now I'm going to have to make an offer on a house before I've even seen it, when it comes on the market.
So Kinsey and I made an offer right at the beginning of quarantine last year. Remember? We found this house that we really liked. It was in a little bit further north than we were planning on moving. But I loved this house. I wanted this house. It was really cool. We left that place, told our realtors we were ready to put in an offer, and then they called us back within 5 minutes because the person selling the home hit them up and said, hey, somebody from San Francisco just called. Sight unseen, we're offering cash.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're going to pay 50 over asking.
Yeah. I had to offer over.
So I'm like, at that point, like, what's the point of you guys listening? It just don't even, my hopes got smashed just right away. This is why with this house, I went full out and I wrote a letter.
Yeah.
I suggest you do that. Get in your feels, Jenna. Write them a letter.
I can, but there's
push
no
the
point.
Other punks out of the way.
No, there's no point right now because once they've accepted an offer, it's up to the buyer.
Okay.
Yeah. So like the buyer is the one that has to either back out because they can't. It's contingent or whatever. Like the seller can't say, "Oh, never mind." That's apparently how this works. So they have this option period to do this. So yeah, if it falls through, then hopefully I'll be the backup, and if I'm the backup, then that's great. So it wasn't a whole bunch of competing offers all at the same time. The seller had already accepted the offer.
We need to start a smear campaign against the people that started this.
Apparently, I mean, I know too much information.
Do you know
but
them?
I don't know. I don't know them. I don't know what the offer was, anything like that. They're on their honeymoon.
I'm joking,
so they're
by the way.
out
I'm not
of
going to smear these people.
No, it's fine. I mean, this is the first time I've ever even made an offer on a house. So I guess it's kind of nice that I don't have the pressure to execute like an offer right now, And so, but yeah, they were on their honeymoon.
They just got married.
At least we know they're not California money with straight cash, but they just got married. They're on their honeymoon, saw the house, put an offer sight unseen. Yeah, I can't believe it. So I was the first person to see the house, but I know it's true. I was looking at it. I'm like, the family had like a little girl's room and all this. It was really cute and totally my style. But I'm trying not to overthink it, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's meant to be and it falls into my lap, then I'll try and get the house and I'll go through with it. And if not, then hopefully I find something else. I mean, I wasn't even ready to, but like, I guess I'm ready. You got to be ready once you start to be ready.
When it happens, it happens.
But especially right now. But yeah, how wild, huh?
Man, it was close. So close, yet so far away. If you know how to get into this secret society of seeing the houses before they go on the market, please let us know. Because I still to this day have no idea.
You just have to, I got set up with an MLS like ID from a realtor can set you up to see all the coming soon listings that hit the MLS. So those are listings those aren't like the hip pocket that aren't listed at all, but that's when realtors list houses off market.
Oh.
Something like that. But then they legally have to go on market even if they already have an offer.
Oh, I got you. See, I don't get it.
I don't get
it. You know what since I'm moving, the one thing I'm like super stressy about right now is my tonal. Because people came over and they see this thing and they're like, hey, it's attached to the wall, which means it's mine. And I have to let them know, like, no, see, you don't understand.
Oh, like your prospective buyers want it included.
Like, oh, this is mine, right? And I'm like, no, that's my tonal.
Right.
See, so I have to exclude it from my home. And tonal has been so awesome. First of all, we've told you how cool tonal is, because tonal is my favorite workout machine I've ever had. It helped me through quarantine. I had coaches on there that were guiding me through workouts when the gyms were all closed, and it made me just stick with it. The weight on it, it's all cable based, but it's up to 200 pounds of weight, but it feels heavier at times. So you're definitely getting that awesome workout and the stabilization muscles that you're not used to using. I feel them igniting every time I use it. Plus there's stretching. Plus there's dancing. There's you could do yoga. You could do meditation. Everything. There's everything on Tonal. Not just lifting weights and getting bulky. There's weight loss programs as well. But they've been so helpful with moving.
Really?
Because I hit them up and I said, hey, I'm moving houses. How do we go about this? And they said, hey, give us your new address. We're gonna send you a brand new hardware, because they don't reuse anything with the tools, which is really, that's how safe they keep everything. So like, we'll send somebody out there, they'll take it down, and then they'll take it over to your new house, and they're gonna set it back up for you.
Awesome.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's how awesome this company is with Tonal. So not only are they getting me in shape, they're gonna make sure that I'm in shape at my new house as well. And they even helped me out with like, hey, this is a good spot to put it in. You know, you send them pictures, you let them know what room you want to put it in, and they give you advice on like, we advise this spot, but if you want to put it in this room, we totally understand it because it's yours. It's been super easy and everything. And so if you're planning on staying at home and doing a little workout, maybe you don't have enough time to go to the gym, I suggest you get yourself a Tonal. Here's the thing. You could try Tonal for 30 days, risk-free. Just go to www.tonal.com for $100 off the smart accessories. When you use the promo code FITISH at checkout, again, that's Tonal, TONAL.com, promo code FITISH. Tonal, be your strongest.
How is the move going?
It's going.
I should ask Kinsey. I should ask the mover, the real packer and mover, right?
No, well, here's the thing. We're getting, so the people moving out had big dogs at our new house, and big dogs, which means the wood was just destroyed. Mm-hmm. But they saw that in advance, and from the get-go, they said, hey, we're going to get the floors. We're going to give you a credit to get it fixed.
Really?
Really.
Not how shit in my neighborhood's going.
No, exactly.
You have to fix everything that you want to buy.
I mean, there's a pool at the new house. The pump and the heater broke. He fixed it. Yeah. He got the parts and everything as soon as that storm hit, because we got hit with pretty bad eyes, fixed. Like it's actually being fixed right now. And so when Kinsey went in, she goes, wait, so we get to pick the wood color? Because they're going to just restain it and all that stuff. It's not new wood. They're just buffing it out and restaining it. And they're like, yeah, that's why we gave you the credit. Other people would just fix it before going for sale.
Right.
And then they would pick what they thought they wanted. No, they waited for people to buy the house, which I thought was super kind of them. But then Kinsey was like, why don't we do the stairs? I'm like, well, listen.
Do what to the stairs?
Our allowance is only for the, for the flooring down here. The stairs is not part of that allowance. And so she talked to the freaking, the construction guys, and she goes, hey, how much would the stairs cost? The flooring guys. And so they gave us a quote. So long story short, I got to spend a few more
$1,000. Yeah.
To get the damn stairs done. They're doing the banister and everything.
That's the problem. I know that she probably doesn't get, because I'm bracing myself for recognizing that, even when you have a decent budget for a house, unless you have some like super rich budget. I mean, even at that, they have their own problems. Right. But even with a good budget for a house, you still aren't going to get everything you want. No, and the point is you should live in it for a bit. You know what I mean? Like, I want to at least find a house that I'm okay living in, that's not like completely falling apart, right? And then I can make changes here and there, like, live there for 6 months and then fix that and then fix that,
so
right?
the one where I do get Kinsey's point, first she said we are going to make money back on the house we're selling, right? Which is good. That's what you usually look for when you're going to sell your house that we're in right now. You're going to make a profit off of it, and that's and luckily we are getting a profit. And then she said, when we moved into this house that we're in right now, we painted it. Right, we did the paint on the walls to make it feel like ours, like it had a touch of us in it. And she goes, well, this new house had been renovated and stuff, so there's not really much to do to it. And she said, I felt like this was a way to put a touch of us.
Hang some pictures.
And I was like, we could hang some pictures, but I totally get it. And so, you know what? If it's the first thing you see when you walk in, so
out of the stairs.
Yeah. And so I didn't push back on it as much as I normally would have, because I'm like, you know what, man, YOLO.
It's wild how much stuff costs. I mean, I watch so many renovation videos and I'm just so impressed with people's ability to do these DIY projects on things that are quite massive, you know? And so it was great to walk around with a friend who does rebuilds and stuff yesterday, because he was like, you know, he knows a lot, he has a lot of contractor knowledge. And so I'm like, well, how much would it cost to make the, you know, master closet and bathroom a little bit bigger because it's new? And he was like, okay, well, this would be like $20K, you know, I mean, at minimum, you know, or like you could do something good for $20K, or, you know, what about cutting a window? He's like, well, it's brick, and like this is actually a big project if you want to cut a window into the side of the house. So like he had all this knowledge, like changing the doors, and then I look at stuff on TikTok and I look at what people do to just massively redo their house on the cheap, and it's just amazing. I just don't think I have the ability or the time.
I don't either. I follow
to do
on
it myself, and then you realize what a premium you pay when you don't, when you can't do it alone.
Listen, we're paying people that do it quicker than we do.
Yeah.
For our time.
For your time. Your time is more valuable.
Our
than
time
doing
is your time more valuable? Or do you really love to do it? I don't love to do it. That's why I'm not going to do it.
I love the idea of it, but like for like an hour, and then I'd abandon the project and have someone else do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because it's a lot to finish a project like that.
You know, shifting gears too, and it's a lot to plan a wedding. I know you and Fran are engaged right now and everything.
Yeah, no wedding.
I have somebody close to me right now and that's getting married, and they are so freaking stressed out because A, they made a destination wedding.
Oh my gosh.
B, they have to plan that, and then they want to do bachelor and bachelorette parties to the point where they're so stressed with money right now. Where I'm like, and the only advice I give people when they ask me, hey, give me some advice. I'm about to get married, and they think I'm some sort of like veteran because I've been married for 10 years. And the only advice I give people when it comes to weddings is don't put yourself in a financial burden.
I thought you were going to say don't do it. I was that's where I'm doing. I mean, but it's true. Awesome. It's true. It's like, it's so much unnecessary stress. Right. And I've also found that, well, at least in my experience, she's younger, I'm sure. And like people that are younger, you know, have this grand plan of a wedding. I think once you start to get older, where I'm at, I mean, I'm almost 37 years old. I'm looking at buying a house. I'm doing this IVF and these shots. And like my priorities have just changed in life. Like I have no desire to spend a bunch of money on a social event when I don't even like being around that many people in general. But yeah, and then people turn around and they're like, I didn't even eat my food. I didn't eat my cake. I don't talked to anything. People. I don't even know if people had fun. You're stressed out that people had a good time.
And so I said, look, we're going to go to the beach, right? You want to get married at the beach in Cancun. So we're going to go out there. But we all get there on Friday, wedding Saturday. All of us are going to leave Sunday. Yeah. So you're having a beach destination, but nobody's going to get to go to the beach. Right? So you could have saved thousands of dollars. The venues alone are more expensive when you travel out of state. That's just going to happen. You know, in Mexico, they see tourists coming in. Let's charge them a little bit more.
Not exactly true. It's actually cheaper to have a destination
wedding
in
really?
Mexico. It is, depending on what you do. Absolutely. So yeah. I mean, not on your guests to pay to travel there, but yeah, they offer. They say it's like half the cost of having a wedding.
So the venue they found there is, I found one for half the cost here. I was like, you could have had a party out here. Save that money. Put it towards a house down payment. We could have done a vacation later on. You could have used it towards your honeymoon, but now you're going in. You can't even take a honeymoon because you're going to have to go straight back to work. Ugh. And so I'm like, I just...
Is it too late?
It's too late. It's too late. The wedding's in May. So by this, you know, everybody is already... Some of us have purchased our tickets. I don't even think they have purchased their tickets because they can't afford it right now. So they're literally waiting for paycheck to paycheck. So they bought last paycheck. They bought their brides, what's it called, the trip you take before you get married?
Bachelorette.
The bachelorette and bachelor party flights. Then next paycheck, they're going to buy their wedding. Then the next one, they're going to be able to pay for it's like, so they put it aside for like each paycheck until the wedding, they're going to be paying for something different.
Wild.
And you're going to go in with so much stress. And then you're going to think, man, we should have used that money towards that down payment of a home or to fix our car I don't know, but
I can't believe that. Yeah, I think this is where I've always said as a girl, I've been missing a chromosome because, you know, I think there's two elements here for me. Like I had a job. I've had this kind of job where I've gotten a lot of attention, sometimes unwanted, but I've gotten attention. So maybe there's an element of that I feel like I've had a lot of good moments, you know, or good days in my life that I don't, you know, need I've never been much for like birthday parties anyways. Like I've never really had that desire to be like the princess for a day. But beyond that, you know, I look at this as just like, I feel this weird sense of guilt. You know, think about how much money we've spent to go on things like this, like because you have to go. I mean, I've had some girlfriends in the past that, you know, some that aren't even really friends anymore, probably because we just differ in this way, that they make you spend so much money. I mean, they have a wedding shower, they want to do a destination bachelorette, and they, you know, require X, Y, and Z, and
dress for this, dress for that, dress for this.
Oh, yeah. And presents and events and just all sorts of shit. And it's like, I just never want to do that to people because, I mean, I had a decent salary and it still stressed me out to have to do all of that. I mean, and I recognize that a lot of people, especially with what we've been going through, are really hurting for money, or their money can be better allocated elsewhere. And I don't know. I mean, I feel guilty at the idea of even having a baby shower. And the only reason I would want to do that is because I feel like you get things that you don't know that you need from people. You know what I mean? That just get me what your favorite thing was. But you know, I'm sure it's fun to register and have people buy you presents, but I don't know. I just feel bad. I feel like when you do okay in life, like you shouldn't make people buy you stuff. And I know that I'm probably a weirdo, and maybe you feel differently for a reason, but
no, we do have to be better as humans when it comes to that. Because I know when we're going to get married, we feel like that's our day, and everybody they need to give us their time. But if somebody, and this has happened too in other weddings, if somebody tells you, "Hey, I'm not going to be able to make it to your destination wedding," don't get mad at them. Because you don't understand what's going on in their bank account. If somebody says, "Hey, I can't go to your bachelorette party," don't shun them out of the wedding or push them aside if they were going to be a big part of it because they can't afford something.
Yeah, I try to tell girlfriends when they've had issues with girls. I mean, it tends to be more dramatic with girls than with men, but I've said, if you have a friend that's that terrible to you because you've chosen not to go, you can't afford to go, or, you know, they're trying to cut you out of being a bridesmaid because you don't go to the bachelorette party, fuck them. Like, that's not a friend you want in your life anyway, because I guarantee you in 5 or 10 years, you're not even going to be friends anymore anyway. You know, I mean, I see college girlfriends that, you know, I had a lot of college girlfriends get married right out of college, and none of them are even like friends anymore. Some of them aren't, because, you know, you just don't keep in touch, and then you have all these friends getting married and you spend every bit paycheck to paycheck just to go to all these parties. It's not worth it. And then no one's even friends once you hit your 30s.
Yeah, right. You have kids and then you move on.
And then they get divorced. They're like probably on a second marriage.
It's not that big of a deal. Are you going to miss a good time if you don't go to a bachelorette party? Maybe. But at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal to put yourself through that stress. And also, let's not be dicks to each other if we can't make it there. Because I am seeing that quite a bit, and I've seen that a lot.
I am sitting here going, my right forearm is so sore, like in here.
Same.
But I realized, why. I went boxing yesterday.
You went back to boxing?
Yeah, and I realized what a great workout. I've kind of been struggling with workouts because my shots suck. I've been so tired. Dude, I woke up at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. I took the dogs out. I had coffee, and I took a 2-hour nap. Like, I didn't do anything. I didn't even work out. I took a 2-hour nap, and the side effects of some of my medications say it's going to make me really tired. So yesterday morning, since Fran's gone and I'm trying to do the dogs, I went to a 6 a.m. You'd be so proud of me because I don't get up that early anymore. I went to a 6 a.m. boxing class, and it was good, and I forgot what a great workout boxing is.
It really is.
It's not, you get the cardio and you're not running, but I am sore in places that you just wouldn't expect, right? Like, I'm not sore in the obvious big muscle groups. My forearm and here is so sore that I can't even hold the microphone.
That means you haven't been using your forearm very much. Poor Franny. Speaking of boxing.
Yeah, because that's what I'm going to do. But you know what? No, you know what I'm going to do today since I'm sore? I'm usually most sore actually like the second day if I don't work out. And since I didn't work out today when I get home from work, I know just what I'm going to do. I am going to grab my Theragun and use it all over my body where I'm sore. Theragun is just amazing. I mean, I have a couple different variations of the Theragun, not to brag.
I got a little travel one.
A little mini handheld one. Yeah. And they're both handheld. But, you know, the other one's more of a beast. Like, it really can target.
It's like the one you see on the sidelines at like football games and basketball games, because this is percussion therapy, and this is what professional world-class athletes use, and now we can use it at home. Like, we got the cheat code here with Theragun.
Yeah, this percussive therapy goes 60% deeper than vibration alone. So when you want to treat the muscle tension from working out, an injury, or just the stresses of everyday life, hey, you're like, Jenna, JC, I actually don't exercise at all. That's okay. Our posture and the way we sit at work can still cause a lot of damage to the body. You're absolutely going to love the Theragun. And like JC said, it's trusted by 250 professional sports teams from Real Madrid and just elite athletes in general, like Paul George, Maria Sharapova. I've been seeing her everywhere lately. Hundreds of thousands of customers, and JC and myself. Yeah, try Theragun for 30 days starting at only $199. Go to Theragun.com/Fitish right now to get your Gen 4 Theragun today. That's Theragun.com/Fitish. Theragun.com/Fitish. Oh, I love it.
When I be Theragunning, I be moaning. See, I've been trying to send them different tags, but they didn't like that one. Didn't rhyme as well as it should. Speaking of boxing, did you see what celebrity boxing match we're getting?
No. Fill me in. I'm all out of the celebrity.
So
gossip.
we got Logan Paul is gonna box Floyd Mayweather.
Really?
And that one should be decent because I honestly think
Logan Paul doesn't have anything to lose.
he doesn't.
He's expected to. He would be expected
And
to
honestly, Logan Paul in person is huge.
lose. Is he?
He's a big dude. Like he's probably like 6'3". He's bigger than me. I met him in person. He was taller than me, and I would say he's built a little bit bigger than I am. And he's gonna be boxing Floyd, who's about 5'6". And weighs about 135 pounds, 140 in a good day.
And I guess it's celebrity boxing matches. They just don't care about weight class and size anymore because isn't his wingspan gonna just be like?
Yeah, so Floyd's gonna have to go up a little bit. I don't know what exactly they're doing.
So they'll get them in the same weight.
They'll not the same, but close. So Logan's gonna be the one that's gonna lose the most weight. He's the one that's gonna drop a bunch of weight to try to get closer to Floyd's. But that's not the one that I've been laughing at the most.
What? Okay.
Because that one I'm not laughing. That one I'm actually intrigued a little bit, right?
I mean, I think as ridiculous it is, I think it's brilliant. They all make a shit ton of money, and we all pay to watch it. So why not?
So if you're listening to this podcast right now, I'm about to tell you what you need to go look at, and that is Aaron Carter's Instagram page. And I'm.
He's not okay. Does he still have all those face tats?
He's got all the face tats, and right now he's training to box. If you want to talk about wingspan, Lamar Odom.
Oh no.
Aaron Carter is about 6'1". Lamar Odom is damn near 7 feet tall.
And they don't drug test before these.
What if they do? I don't think Aaron
Drugs
or
are
Lamar.
Encouraged.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be passing this, but. So I've been watching Logan Paul and like Floyd Mayweather training videos, and those guys are like real quick. Like,
oh yeah, they're fit.
They're like Ryan Garcia quickness. That boxer, if you know who he is, they're fast. Then you watch Aaron Carter swing, and his hook is like a telegram from New York getting to California. It's gonna take a few days, okay? And I'm just like, I don't know if I'd let this dude go on in a ring with a former professional athlete. I don't care if he played basketball or not, but I would not let this kid go on the ring against this humongously tall former professional athlete.
So is this going to be like one of the lead-in fights to the main event?
This is not even, has nothing to do with Logan Paul
and Floyd. An undercard fight? Is that what it's called?
So
it's just something
So there's
different
venues too for celebrity boxing.
Is this at a brothel?
I don't know where they're doing it, but it's a celebrity boxing match. That's what it's called, and that's what Aaron Carter and Lamar are doing. And Logan Paul and the other one, I think that's just their own
more legit.
That's more legit. But so there's 2 different celebrity boxing matches that are way different when it comes to skill.
Who would you want to box?
But after watching them train, I think I'd take on Aaron Carter.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you could choose anyone to fight.
Oh man, see, that's a good question.
I mean, I guess it would be like a celebrity that you just kind of like hate, like a douchebag.
Yeah, it would have to be somebody I definitely dislike quite a bit, and I tend to try to find the good in most people. Maybe that one dude, the British guy from Vanderpump Rules.
Oh yeah, James, is that his name?
James.
Which I don't even know how I know that. I don't even watch reality television.
I watch it randomly.
I used to watch a couple Vanderpumps. That one was dramatic.
Yeah, so maybe him. Just a few episodes I've watched of it with him in it. I didn't like him. So maybe him, James, if you want to box.
I just can't get in with reality TV. I mean, there's been moments, of course, during, a year at home with nothing to watch that you're like, okay, I'm going to try. And I'd watch something and be like an episode in or something, and I'd just feel so betrayed by humanity. Like, I'd just feel gross. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm watching people live life, and they're not even living lives of value sometimes. I'm like, no, I can't.
Would you box, though?
Would I box?
Mm-hmm. Like, who would you box?
Yeah, I'd box Harry Styles just to get close again. No,
no, you can't mount. It's not UFC. Like, you can't mount him.
Do whatever I want.
You cannot mount him.
I'm not really. I feel oddly chill these days.
Right?
Like, I just don't feel like I don't feel hungry to fight, which is probably a good place to be since I'm trying to become a mother.
I know.
But I don't know. Who would I want to fight? Y'all made me wrestle that one time, and that shit was bunk. You made me wrestle a fan or listener of the Kid Craddock Morning Show. Yeah, and she's friends with your wife, right?
Yeah.
You made me wrestle someone for a pair of shoes, and Hulk Hogan actually did the...
First of all, we didn't make you. We asked you, hey, do you want to wrestle for a pair of shoes? You're like,
First of all, I was like a year or two into that job, and you said that the prize was like a pair of Christian Louboutin shoes or something, which were cool at the time. Like now, no.
They hurt.
Well, yeah, no, I don't like them anymore. But you were like, you want to do this? I was like, sure. And then so we chose a listener for me to wrestle. We had people call in or whatever, and then it was like a legitimate wrestling match in a ring, and Hulk Hogan was
he was the ref,
the referee.
Yeah, he reffed it.
But this is something that, it's been long enough that I can come clean on this. So,
oh boy, behind.
I am competitive as shit, if you haven't been able to tell that. And I'm really decently athletic, maybe stronger than I look. Not these days. I'm kind of weak, but in general. And they called her in, and you get to pick a theme song and a whole thing. So she runs out to the ring, and everyone's cheering, and the cameras are on. And Hulk, he still can't believe it was Hulk Hogan. It's kind of funny in hindsight. Like, he pulls me to the side, and he goes, you have to let her win no matter what, right? And he's like, I don't know how this is going to go, but if you're winning, she's going to win.
The wrestling talk?
And I went, okay, Hulk, okay. I was like, whatever, because of course I'm like, I want the shoes. And he was like, no, but that's not how this goes. Like, she gets to win. I was like, what? He's like, even if you're winning, I'm going to count her as winning. And I was like, so then I ran out this fucking sucks. And I even won. I even had moments because I was like, I'm going to show him. They're not going to be out, argue with the tape. Of course, me being such a tomboy. I was like, okay, Hulk, argue with the tape. It's on video. And so he counted it, and then he wasn't counting, and I just got her down. And I was so mad. And
Hulk is a cheater, bro. She was pretty, and she didn't know any of this, and she was also very athletic. So
everything
you
see is fake. If that lesson hasn't taught you anything, everything you see on television is fake. That's why I'm so disillusioned by reality television. I don't believe anything.
Yeah.
It's all fake.
It is. I beat Graham Harrell in a quarterback competition. Remember when we tried that little TV show?
Mm-hmm.
And they
said
let you win? He didn't let me win. They counted, they gave me negative points and stuff. They go back and watch that. It's on our YouTube channel, one of our Kid Nation TV. I beat him. I watched it the other day with my friend, and we both took points. I beat him by 3 points. But now everybody thinks Graham Harrell beat me.
Unbelievable. I'm sorry.
They hate us because they ain't us, Jenna. Mm-hmm. I really did beat him now. By 3, 4. Now he's over at USC. That could have been me at USC as offensive coordinator, wherever he ended up.
I don't even know who he is.
Graham Harrell was one of the all-time leading passers in NCAA history. He played at Texas Tech.
I am so out of the sports loop these days, and you know that I used to get down with the sports, and I like football, and I really love soccer, but Francisco, my lover,
fiance,
he couldn't care less about sports in general. He doesn't hate them, right?
What's his sport of choice?
I don't know.
Wow.
He wouldn't, if I wanted to watch, the Super Bowl or a playoff game or a big time soccer game, he would watch it. But he just doesn't keep up. He doesn't have any interest. He doesn't bet. He doesn't do fantasy. He's not like, oh, the game's on, I got to watch the game. It's so strange. I think it's one of the first guys I've ever dated that really doesn't care at all about sports. And then it's strange because I thought as much as I love sports that I would still keep up, but I think you just kind of watch what your partner watches. And I find myself sometimes, every now and then if there's a great international soccer game on or something, I'll make it a point to turn it on, but I just don't even know. And I realize what a rabid sports fan my mom is. She will not leave the house on Sundays when football's on. And then when the women are playing soccer, she calls me. She's like, the women are playing, and it's a friendly. I don't watch stuff that doesn't count. I don't care about scrimmages. And I don't care about
I don't watch friendlies.
Preseason anything. I don't care, and she loves it.
But if Cristiano Ronaldo's playing, or Messi, or Neymar, or any of those guys, I will watch it. The other day, Cristiano Ronaldo's team was playing Juventus, and I had to watch it just because it's the Champions League, and they got upset. Unfortunately, sorry if I spoiled it for you. But I treat sports, I realized, the way I treated dating when I was in high school. Because in high school and even in college before I met Kinsey, you date a bunch of girls, right? You got a girl here, and you date this girl for a couple of weeks, and then you move on to this girl, new season. That's how sports were for me. I'd go from football, then I'd start watching baseball and basketball at the same time, so I cheated on them. But I was watching everything, every game. I had to watch it all the time. And then something happened where I just became extremely monogamous with football.
Yeah.
Where I only date football.
Got it.
I couldn't tell you the last time I watched a baseball game. It's my ex-girlfriend over there. I see her, I go check on her and make sure she's doing okay, and she's fine. They're making money. Same with basketball. Maybe I'll take a look. I'll sneak a peek over at basketball, but, because I'm kind of into what Luka Doncic is doing. I really like him. But football's my bae. Like, I don't watch the sports that I used to watch and the amount of sports I used to watch, and I don't know what happened.
Fran and I got in a fight about soccer a couple days ago, and he said to me, we were talking because you brought up Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. You know, Messi is getting traded, and again, neither of us keep up with sports news like that much. But you know, I played soccer. Soccer is my number one favorite sport. I mean, I love American football, but I love soccer, but not so much that I keep up with the teams and the rosters and all of that. But I know I would say soccer is the one sport that I thoroughly understand all of the rules, totally get it, never lost. And so Fran said to me, he said, oh, there's a rumor that Messi's going to come play in the MLS. And I was like, fucking bullshit. No, he won't. Like, the money's not as good. And he goes, that's not true. That's the only reason they would come over here is because the money's better. And I said, bullshit. It made me so mad. I was like, you know, I was like, the Premier League and the Championship league, they pay better than any other league. And it's all based on ad revenue. Soccer's the biggest sport in the world. And I get so fired up about it because in America, we don't look at soccer this way at all. And the MLS is kind of, you know, it's kind of lame compared to everything else, but it's all based on viewership, right? It's all based on advertising. And so he's like, well, you need to Google it. And I was like, already done it. Already Googled it just to have my facts straight. Because I'm like, you know, Messi's a billionaire. Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi are billionaires. I mean, they were two of the first sports billionaires. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and it's not just their endorsement money. He's like, well, Beckham made a lot of money. I was like, Beckham is not even considered to be like a top tier soccer player. Like, I got so fired up about it. And it made me like...
Beckham got $250 million to come play in the MLS when it was starting out because he was such a big draw.
Contracts. Yeah, he was such a big draw. That's also based on contracts.
He couldn't get
on endorsements.
He couldn't get a spot as a starting 11 on a club team.
He came here because and he's more of like a celebrity. It's just how you have golfers that never win majors, but they have great endorsements, and that's the whole deal, right? Like, they still make a ton of money, but it's not coming from their contract with the team.
So Messi is not at the end of his career. Maybe in about 5 years, when he's almost 40, he might come play in the MLS for 1 or 2 seasons like Rooney did. But Messi will most likely either stay over with Barcelona or he'll end up with Real Madrid.
No, he's going to Paris Saint-Germain.
He's going to Saint-Germain with Neymar?
PSG.
I haven't kept up.
I think that was the rumor.
Last one I saw was Real Madrid, and I was kind of excited about that because he'd be like a crosstown rival. That would have been dope.
So, yeah, it was a small fight, but he, you know, the problem with winning that fight is
that why Neymar held up the 10 jersey when he scored the other day?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, Neymar, you son of a gun.
Maybe he, but yeah, Fran didn't actually give me the win. Do you know what I mean? Even though we had a conversation, you know, he didn't want to admit that I won that argument, and that bothered me.
Okay.
Because you know what I mean? Like,
as guys, we don't like losing.
How are we gonna?
I know, but losing sports arguments.
But I was correct from the jump before I even Googled it. Like, they 100%. Make way more money. They're actually the best. Like, some of the best average. Even the average salary in that league is the best. It's higher than, you know, the average salary in most.
What
leagues.
I don't get is transfer fees in soccer. Like, who gets that money? Does the soccer player get it? And then where's his salary come in? Like, the money talk over there in the soccer world is so weird.
Yeah.
We sold them. Like, you ain't selling me, bitch. You're just giving my contract.
We
you ain't
sold
selling
them.
me. I'm not a. Yeah, we sold them to Paris Saint-Germain. No, you're selling me.
I would think that word doesn't sound politically correct anymore.
Can't say that in the U.S. Can you imagine?
No, we sold them.
Yeah. You can't be selling football players over here or basketball players. That would sound awful. But in the soccer world, they sell them.
Okay, we're not professional athletes by any means, clearly, but we like to pretend that we are, especially with some of the sponsors of the show. And I'll tell you, we like to dress like we're professional athletes.
Well, try to at least. But we were just talking about soccer, you know, like if you've ever played sports and you go out the first day of practice and you haven't worn your cleats or your running shoes or whatever you're using to do a bunch of working out, you're going to get the worst blisters of all time. This is where Features comes in. My Features socks, not only do they have athletic versions of socks, they have dressy socks. Like, these are my everyday versions right here. Look at these bad boys right
Amazing.
there.
Oh, those are cool.
And I've told you this
They're
before.
striped in case you're not watching
Yeah,
this on YouTube.
these are striped. I got to show them to the camera. You can watch our show on YouTube. But my Features are my favorite socks. And I try to wear, when they get clean, those are the first ones that go. Especially if I'm working out because they keep my feet dry. I never have had a blister when going out and using my Features with my football cleats. I promise you, I have not had a blister. I wear the other socks that I have. I'll probably end up with a couple blisters. That's how awesome they are.
JC, yours are stylish that you have on right now, and I deal with a lot of like foot cramping when I run, you know, and so these Features actually have targeted compression, so it's going to hug the arch of your foot, keeping the sock in place, preventing it from bunching, slipping, or sliding down into your shoe. Anatomically designed to conform to the right foot. it's like a custom fit. It's actually
It's awesome.
really great.
Whether you want high socks, mid socks, the low socks, the no-show socks, they have them all for you, and they all fit perfectly.
And Features is challenging you to try a pair, and if they're not the best socks you've ever worn, they'll take them back. They're so confident you're going to love their socks. They've also given our Fitish listeners $10 off your first pair of Features when you go to features.com/Fitish. That's FEETURES.com/Fitish for $10 off your first pair of Features.
If you don't have features, sucks to be you.
Socks
That's
to be
another
you.
one tag that I was kind of coming up with. I
We're
think
good.
they'll like that one.
They should
That one's a
pay
good
us to help with taglines.
My other one sucked. This one's good.
That one's pretty good.
Sucks to be you.
So you're moving like right now. You got to go home and move.
And I think I've been really emo, but our boss made me cry because it's my birthday coming up. Right, my birthday was coming up, and my boss, who Jenna knows, G-Man, he sent me a text.
What did he say?
And it was a picture. And at first, I didn't look at it. It looked like a modem. I'm like, what? Did he get a new modem at the office? Like, did we get new internet? I'm not even going to the office, so why is he sending me a modem? So I kind of I didn't even read it right away because it was just coming in. I was doing something else. And then I went back to read it, and I opened it, and he goes, got you this for your birthday. It should be there any day. And it was a PS5.
No way. That's a great
Jenna,
gift.
I got so emo because... Listen, I didn't grow up with getting gifts on my birthday, right? And Kinsey's been really good. She's since we've been dating, like she gets me really thoughtful gifts, and she's awesome with gifts. But for some reason, G-Man, he has always hit it on the nail. Like he finds these gifts, and I feel like just not worthy to be on the receiving end of something so nice and grandiose. And I literally started tearing up. Like my eyes welled up, and I wrote him back. I was like, dude, this made me tear up because nobody has ever cared about me or tried hard to like even think about what I like. That's not a direct family member to.
George has always gotten you good gifts.
He's so dope, man. And so he got me a PS5, and I've been talking about wanting one since they came out.
I bet Kenzie's like, fucking great.
He hit her up.
And ask her if it was okay?
And he's always cool with that because he doesn't want to cross.
I feel like buying a grown man a PlayStation is akin to like when people buy your kid a toy that makes a mess, like a ton of Play-Doh or sand or something, because you're just like, great, this is going to take time. It's just kind of a beat down for the wife in general. But she's cool with you playing video games, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm not.
Kason will get into it now too, I'm sure, right?
He has his own PlayStation. This one's mine.
Oh, you don't play together?
We play together, but he has his own PlayStation, like in his little room, and then I'll have my PlayStation. That way we can play together.
And apart.
Well, we have to be, if he plays Fortnite, we have to be in separate rooms and different consoles.
I see.
Yeah, so we can still play together, which is good, but it'll be my PlayStation 5.
How do you hide video games? Like, how do you hide stuff from children so they don't even know exists? Like what you do for kids with Disney. So you know what I mean? So like they don't, like you want to hide the Disney commercials. I mean, at least now when you're watching streaming, you don't get as many commercials. So it's like you don't even want them to know for a long time that there's a place called Disney World.
So you can't do that. I mean, their friends are going to tell them when they go to school. But what you can do is you can teach them the right way to use them. I felt like my parents, I didn't really have video games until once I got them. My parents didn't really understand what it was, so I had free range, and I would wake up and play it, and I would go to sleep playing it, and I thought it was too much free range. Nowadays, what you could do is I can log on to my parental controls, and I put a time
limit.
Yeah, I can set a time limit to how long he can play, and I can set a time limit when he can play. So if he wakes up at 6 a.m. and tries to log on to Fortnite, guess what, bro? You're gonna get a message that says your time restriction is on right now.
Yeah,
and you cannot play.
That's like what happens when TikTok's like, wow, you've been scrolling for a really long time.
Right.
You should go to bed. And I'm like, fuck you, swipe.
I love TikTok right now. I'm learning so much because of TikTok.
I'm learning, but I'm not doing. It's such a time suck. I'm trying to put a limit for myself too. I actually have started like trying to disallow. It's so funny as an adult. I'm disallowing myself from being on my phone once I go up and get in bed. So now I have all these books. I'm reading books in general, and it's making my life so much better. And it takes discipline, but like reading a book in bed instead of being on your phone, you go to sleep faster, you learn more, you don't go to sleep feeling bad
You're
about
doing like
yourself.
self-help books, like make you better books?
No, all different kinds of books. Some
Fiction?
parenting, psychology, business. I read a lot of nonfiction. Like company. I'm reading one about how to create a good company culture, that sort of thing.
Have you read The Perfect Marriage?
No, is it good?
Yes. That was a TikTok.
Chick lit?
I haven't read Chick Lit.
No. It is the perfect marriage is what they would call chick lit, chick literature. Oh. Chick lit. Chicklet. Chicklet? Not the chicle that you sold as a child in the border.
Yeah, it's a chicklet.
Chicklet.
Yeah, it's good.
No, chicklet. Yeah.
And this was Anna that we work with.
Yeah.
She's the one that found it on TikTok. They did a great job with the marketing on TikTok. You could do such a great job if you're an author. And this woman made it seem like it was her story.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
I saw that story.
You know
that she moved and then met a woman and she died or something like that.
She said, "How would you feel if your husband's mistress was found dead in a cabin, and you were hired to protect him, and all that stuff?" And you're like, "Oh shit, man! You know he did it, right? Like, what you doing?" But it was just
the book she wrote. That's great.
What you doing, Terry? Like, you know he did it, man. And then she goes, "This is my book," and blah blah blah, and then you read it.
Well, I'm going to add it to the list.
You should, Jenna. That's a really good book.
Awesome.
We should do a book club. Everybody listening to the Fitish podcast should read The Perfect Marriage, and then we could all talk about it. Because I can't talk to anybody about it except Anna.
Okay.
And that's troublesome because, I'm going to ruin it for you if I talk about it.
Okay, so we'll stop talking. Let's just end this right here, right now.
But it's really good.
All right. Thank you.
There's a lot of twists and turns. Mm-hmm. Like, you're like, what?
Then you got to go read The Silent Patient.
Is that chick lit?
Yeah, but you're going to really like it. It's really good and you're not going to see it coming. So there you go. I have plenty of books for y'all. I have plenty of recommendations.
I started reading, I think, Diane Moriarty, the one that wrote the Perfect Big Little Lies.
That was too much chick lit for me.
Too chick lit?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
I don't like women fighting in real life, so the last thing I want to do is read about it in detail, and it's fictional. It stresses me out.
I read Gone Girl even though I've watched the movie. It was better to read, by the way.
Okay, so JC wants your chick lit recommendations.
Yeah, send me some, please.
Good luck with the move. I can't wait to come see the house.
Good luck finding a house that's not taken before it goes on the listing.
Well, by the next podcast, I'll know, right? They have a 7-day option,
yes,
ma'am.
I'll
let you know next week.
Keep on looking. Send Jenna houses if they're in the MLS, Major League Soccer.
They're off the MLS.
I don't get it.
I want them before, if they're off market.
Bye.
Bye.